What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Baddog back with another New York Giants video. I just want to say once again, thank you guys and girls so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Do me a favor, smack the hell out of that like button. It helps out the video more than you know. Also, leave a comment with your opinion. That also helps out the video more than you'll know. I do a ton of Giants content on this channel. Plan on doing it all season, no matter how good or bad we are. And of course, I always appreciate your support. We are the best fan base on YouTube. That's right. I said it, man. Very loyal Giants fans out there. And you got to be loyal to be involved with the team that is the New York Giants. Now, Joe Judge come out and said, we got to get Kadarius Toney involved in the game plan. Kadarius Toney is going to be more involved in the game plan. We're going to get Kadarius Toney more involved. How do we know that Joe Judge is telling the truth? Has Joe Judge told us the truth about anything this year? Joe Judge is a great talker. Joe Judge is a great speaker. You could even say maybe Joe Judge is a great motivator, but really, what does he motivate? The New York Giants are one of the most undisciplined teams in the league. They're one of the most unfundamental teams in the league, and by far, they're one of the worst teams in the league, okay? So it's telling us that Kadarius Toney is going to get involved in the game plan really doesn't mean much unless we see number 89 actually getting involved in the game plan. Now, we saw it a couple of times against the Falcons, and we did see him once get out in space, and he was twitchy, and he made some guys miss, and that looks great. But what has been the excuse of why Kadarius Toney hasn't seen the field? Well, Baddog, he had a rough preseason. He had the cleat problem. He had the COVID problem. His grandmother died. He didn't come to OTAs. And he hasn't been with the team, and he didn't really get a chance to get acclimated to the playbook and Garrett's system, and you got to take time. He needs time. When did Colin Johnson get here? A couple weeks ago? Colin Johnson wasn't a Giant in the preseason. Colin Johnson didn't have any rapport with Daniel Jones. Colin Johnson didn't have a whole offseason to learn the playbook or the system or Daniel Jones. Somehow comes out and catches 5 passes in a half against the Falcons. So how is it possible that Colin Johnson can all of a sudden figure it the hell out in such a short period of time, but Kadarius Toney couldn't? There's a reason he didn't see the field. There's a reason that they didn't get involved in the game plan. Is it because Kadarius Toney can't get open? Is it because they just don't game plan? They don't put it in for Kadarius Toney? They don't call any plays for Kadarius Toney? I don't know what it is. But how do we know Joe Judge, what he's saying is going to be fact? We don't. Joe Judge could be saying that to try to throw off the Saints. Because why would you come out and say, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then actually go out and do it, or they can game plan for you, man? I don't know if he's playing mind games. I don't know if he's messing around. I don't know what he's doing. What I do know is I'm sick and tired of listening to him talk and not seeing any results. And the fact of the matter is, the New York Giants went out. They took Kadarius Toney 20th overall. And I had a hard time understanding the draft pick. I felt like we could have used Micah Parsons. I felt like we could have used Rashawn Slater. Okay? If Devontae Smith was there and the Eagles didn't trade up, yeah, we were probably going to take Devontae Smith. And I guess I would have understood that. He was one of the best receivers coming out in the draft. It still wouldn't have made a ton of sense to me since I felt like Parsons and Slater were more of a need, especially since you just went out and spent $72 million on Kenny Galladay. You also have Sterling Shepard and you have Darius Slayton. So I guess maybe they wanted the added depth. I don't really know. So if you wanted to say that Kadarius Toney couldn't get on the field because they had Slayton and they had Shepard and they had Galladay and he's a number 4 receiver, I guess I would understand it. But when Sterling Shepard goes out with a hamstring and Darius Slayton goes out with a hamstring, and then all of a sudden he's throwing to Colin Johnson, that raises a lot of red flags to me as to why Kadarius Toney wasn't getting those targets and it was Colin Johnson. Not that I have any problem with Colin Johnson. As a matter of fact, and I mentioned this during the stream on Sunday with Chris, when they were throwing to Colin Johnson, that I liked Colin Johnson coming out of Texas. Not the fastest guy. He's not going to blow anybody away with his 40 time. Dealt with some injuries at Texas, but he always used to tear up Oklahoma. He and Devin Duvernay used to kill Oklahoma. Colin Johnson was a big target at 6'6", 235 pounds. He does have really good hands. And again, he's a big target. Like, he is definitely a serviceable guy. He's only in his second year, and I thought that was a good pickup for the Giants. And I wanted them to draft him later in the draft, 4th or 5th round. So the fact that they really got him for nothing is pretty good. I liked it. And I think that Colin Johnson could actually be a good weapon for the Giants, especially inside the 20. If you got 6'4" Galladay on one side, you got 6'6" Colin Johnson on the other, down in the red zone, maybe that helps. I still have a hard time understanding why the Giants can't score in the red zone. With all the players that they have, a taller guy, a taller target than Kenny Galladay, healthy Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones' legs, and a Kadarius Toney that you should be able to do a bunch of things with. How the hell is this team still not getting the end zone? And not to mention, you went out and you paid Kyle Rudolph $12 million. And he's supposed to be a big red zone target. How the hell did the Giants not score in the red zone? I don't understand it, because going into the season with all the things that they did on the offensive side of the ball between the draft and free agency, getting Saquon Barkley back, I'm like, you can't stop this team in the red zone. And maybe that you can. Maybe they stop themselves. But I digress. I'm getting off topic here. Kadarius Toney needs to be more involved in the game plan. You don't waste, I said this before, you don't waste a first-round pick on a project when you've won 20 games in 4 years. If you're the defending champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or, you're the Packers, a team that's consistently good, or the Steelers, or whatever, teams that are in the playoffs every year, they win 10, 11 games every year, and you're pretty set, and you want to work in a young, explosive wide receiver that may take over for one of your players in a year or two, and you want to do that, you can afford to do it. But when you're the New York Giants, you can't afford to take projects and not have your first-round picks being immediate impact players on either side of the ball. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So Joe Judge says that he's going to play Kadarius Toney, and that they do have a game plan to get him more involved in the offense, and that they're going to be more aggressive. Well, they can't be any less aggressive, that's for sure. And they certainly can't get Kadarius Toney any less involved in a game plan than they did over the first 3 weeks of the season. Now, Kadarius Toney finally has more receiving yards than me and everybody watching this video. I think he has 14 now and 4 catches. But you can see what's there. There is a reason that they drafted him. And hopefully Joe Judge isn't lying this time around and he tells the truth. I'm not saying force the ball to Kadarius Toney. But I would like to see this guy get more targets. I would like to see him get in open space and to see what he can do. Especially if, depending on the health of, Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton, we're going to need somebody else to step up. And hopefully it's Kadarius Toney. Hopefully they figure it out, and hopefully he can, add a spark to this offense, which is just kind of sputtering. I mean, they're like a car without a spark plug, with a spark plug that just don't fire on all cylinders. So hopefully Kadarius Toney's that added dimension. I don't know if he is. I don't know how they're going to get him the ball. I don't know what their game plan is. But with Joe Judge sitting there saying, we're going to get him involved in a game plan, I hope he's not just pulling our leg again and saying that, and then he comes out and he gets 2 targets and he has like 4 yards, or they throw a little, give him one of those little shovel passes, or they run a jet sweep with him and they go, well, we got him involved, and then they send him to the bench. But yeah, we'll see what Joe Judge and company do with Kadarius Toney, and regardless of Kadarius Toney, hopefully the New York Giants figure out a way to win, because God knows, as Giants fans and as Giants players and coaches, we all need a win for our sanity. So that's all I got in this video, guys and girls. Once again, I really do appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, please like, please subscribe, and of course, leave a comment. You can subscribe on one of these sides. It's up there in the corner. You can subscribe to the channel. You can also watch my last video right over there or over there. Again, I never know which side is on. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it, guys and gals. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. It's Bad Diggity Dizzle. I'm out. Peace.